Hey, welcome to Witching Hour Tarot. I hope everyone is doing well today. Ooh. Um, I was having some issues shutting off my camera, so when I put it back on, it was, had a little bit of a issue adjusting. I have it on still, and it actually moves naturally with my body movement, so I have to, anyway. Long story short, if I have any issues with my camera, if it moves, sorry, but you will just be seeing my hands. I am actually not wearing any rings today. I just wanted to show off these lovely gloves that I have. These are actually from Israel. I have multiple pairs, and I love this lace. I have so many camisoles from this person. I've been buying her products for probably about 10 years, and I absolutely love them. Peace, light, and blessings to everyone today. I hope you're doing well. I'm getting some really, really gnarly energy in the collective. So I just kind of want to see what's going on, get something out there just for people to reflect on. So what is going on in the collective? I think we're in a full moon, and it is daylight savings time. So we have longer days. There's more sun out. I love this time of year. I'm an Aries, so we're approaching Aries season, which I also love. And we get the Aries energy is very initiative, where we get those first blooms in the spring, and like poof. Like it's very, the Fool is Aries energy. The Emperor is also Aries energy. Some people say the High Priestess is Aries energy, but could also be Pisces. But it's the first sign in the zodiac, so really resonates with me. I love being an Aries, and I'm as Aries as they get. I think like my rising signs are also like my rising sign is like I think it's actually a Taurus, but then my moon sign is I think I'm in like an Aquarius actually, my moon sign. I misspoke. See, I'm not as learned as I thought. So anyway, what's going on? The Hierophant. So we saw the Hierophant in my last reading that I posted on Monday. It might have been Sunday night. Sorry, but the days just kind of smashed together in the best kind of way. Happy Wednesday, everyone. But the Hierophant is all about the order. It's patriarchal order as well. I really liked my explanation in my last video in terms of where the Hierophant stands in the major arcana, and it being the fifth in the major arcana. And so it's basically like it's our rules, it's our religions, it's our governments, it's anything that where you try to make order of what is spiritual. It's very divine masculine as well. Someone might be experimenting with black magic. I always say this whenever it comes up, but I strongly advise against experimenting with black magic, because the thing about the spiritual realm is that it's the unseen. It's all the things that we don't know. And when you send that kind of intention out to people or to anyone where you don't know where they sit in terms of spiritual hierarchy, you don't want to go attacking someone who's like Jesus is Christ's reincarnation, or Mother Teresa's reincarnation, or Joan of Arc's reincarnation. It's very, very bad karma, and we have no way of knowing of who those people actually are in terms of proof. All we really have is our faith. So I don't do any sort of, black magic, candle magic. I do, I've had friends explain things to me, and I even say to them, I just strongly, I think it's really, really, really bad karma. The most kind of I do is tarot readings, divination, but that's more so a combination of interests and just purely trying to, get at people for whatever reason. Magic, like love spells, could also be relevant. for someone. The High Priestess. Yeah, so I love seeing these two together. This is like the yin and yang of like High Priestess spiritualism, like with the Hierophant. This is like the divine masculine ultimate, priest, and this is the divine feminine ultimate priestess, obviously. Again, Aries. Some people say it's Pisces, but I love the multi interpretation of it, because I do think the High Priestess sits on the realm of what is real and what is not. In traditional tarot explanations, it's kind of like a veil that she sits in front of, and the best way I can also describe it is, I don't know if you've ever read Harry Potter or seen Harry Potter, where Sirius Black falls behind that veil in the room of mystery or whatever it is, and he just immediately dies, and the High Priestess sits in front of that veil. She is the navigator, the guide between the spiritual realm and the earthly realm. I love the High Priestess. I really, really resonate with this, and I feel like we don't really see strong female spiritualists in modern day society. I think that there's like with the witch trials and that kind of stuff, I don't think we've ever really seen that in the past 500 1,000 years. Nuns are nothing close to what a High Priestess can encompass. The best example that I've ever read is Enheduanna, which was a Persian princess, and she was also she had a degree of spiritual giftedness and very learned, very educated, but also people looked up to her as a spiritual leader. I think that the Mayans are similar in how they conducted their their hierarchy and whatever their royalty or so someone could be Mexican, that could be relevant as well. This is actually a Mexican deck and it's inspired by Day of the Dead, or maybe just Latina. But definitely there's awareness here for sure. And not just awareness, an ability to guide people, an ability to not only interpret the what is spiritual, but the ability to make rules from it, to organize it, to make it, make sense. Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands is all about communication, swift communication, again in 2 weeks. So something's coming, things are changing. We are in springtime. It's the time of change. Fives are also all about change as well. Ace of Pentacles. So we've been seeing the Ace of Pentacles. So there's some sort of spiritual offer, golden ticket, and luck too. This is good luck here. The best kind of luck. Queen of Swords. So this is the divorced queen, the widowed queen, very logical, very intelligent, but also very well-mannered, has excellent boundaries with people, knows what it is to be in, to go through, life's troubles. So is able to kind of assert herself in that way. This is also air energy, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. If we have any Aquarian females out there, Gemini, Libra, hello to you. You are on the table tonight. So maybe someone's also this is the theme, what I put here. But there's I don't know, I lost my train of thought. This was just for fun. Maybe if Like, this is just what I do to kind of relax. Like, I get some anxiety sometimes, and I just kind of love, experimenting with this kind of stuff. And I'm also a history buff. Like, tarot's really interesting in terms of the historical symbolism. And I personally, I don't have any tattoos, so I live vicariously through tarot reading and just, interpreting the imagery. But I forgot exactly what my point is. The Star. So this is Fountain of Youth energy. This is very, very like spiritual, connected, like I'm trying to articulate. This reminds, like, this is kind of like a very Gandalf vibe that we're together here, like spiritually gifted, and but also a leader and moral and for the greater good. Very nice vibe. Strength. So it's so nice to see this. So this is like a contrast here. It's like the yin and yang even more so with strength. This is Leo, an Aquarian energy, and both of these are fixed signs as well. So they're interpreted or fixed into the world, and there's repetition here, but it's very yin and yang. Like the strength it has a feminine essence to it in the original Rider-Waite deck. It is, I think, the Empress or the pre-Empress. She's like holding a lion, or she's like stroking a lion or something like that. So very lovely to see this. It's like very magical, strong, hold your ground kind of energy. The Moon. So this is like all of life's mysteries, all the things left unsaid, all the things left unexplained, all the things we'll never know, but then somehow things also playing out and things turning out the way that they do. Divine timing. There's a lot of mystery as well here. Tons of things that are, below surface level that we can't really see at this time. Like, very mystical. I don't even know if I can interpret this honestly with like the Star, the Moon, the Hierophant, the High Priestess, and Strength. Like, these are all major arcana cards, and this is the most I've ever seen show up like this one after the other. It's definitely going to be communicated to you. It's going to be evident what it is. It's going to be obvious, but it's also out of your control. The Hierophant again. Yeah, so same thing. There is a spiritually gifted masculine, I think, that is involved in this situation, maybe involved with the Queen of Swords or the High Priestess. There is like a pope figure overlooking a situation here, like someone who has that kind of respect and spiritual capacity. A cardinal, or like someone who finds a lot of resonation in the order of religion and spiritualism, and really connects with like the Torah or the Bible or the Quran, or the Hinduism. I was actually just in yoga class, and I love I don't know a lot about Hinduism, and I adore my one of my instructors, and she's actually the athletic director, and I think that she's just so awesome. And she's a very nice lady, and like just has such a very calm, kind of connected presence. And she's I love yoga. I know a lot of the English translations, but I don't know the Sanskrit. And so all the Sanskrit has, it's literal interpretation. It's like seated, extended, hands exposed or something like that. And it just kind of is like Utthana Kondanasana. Like, don't quote me exactly, like I don't know. But she brought up Ganesh, who is a Hindu god that's the elephant, and his ears are so big, is what she said, so he can hear your troubles. And someone's listening to your troubles here, a divine, figure who has power too, who has spiritual influence. So your prayers are being answered. Temperance, yeah, it's taking time. It's coming though, like here it comes. Someone's been very patient. This is like time passing so slowly. Like that Madonna song, like time goes by so slowly. Time goes by slowly. It's so catchy. She's also incredibly flexible in that music video. I think she was like 55 too. Like it's amazing what she could do. Y'all should all watch it. Madonna. I think it's just like time goes by. Like every little thing that you say I do, I'm hung up. It's such a great song. But like there's an essence to it. Like just that chorus, like time goes by so slowly. Like don't quote me. But this is a lovely, lovely reading. It's very mystical. Like this is one of the most mystical readings I've ever got. And it just kind of elicits a feeling more so than any sort of like instance that I can think of. And the feelings are like the sagas, the great epic sagas of history, in modern times. What would that be? Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Star Wars. There's a magical aspect to it. I was going to say James Bond, but that's a little too violent, I think, in this instance. But there's a lot of depth. Someone could like horses, they could like dogs, they could like stargazing, camping, hopefully not black magic. They could like, religious texts, reading the Torah, reading the Bible, reading the Quran, reading Hinduism, just exploring sort of every sort of thought process and theology. Finding also something, there's a decision-making factor here too, like finding what works for you. So I never ask questions in my reading. I just kind of laid the cards out, but let's ask questions. Who is this Hierophant and the star to the collective? Six of Cups. So this is a very romantic card. It's one of the most romantic cards you can actually have in the deck. It's water energy, it's nostalgia and connection and, all the good feelings. In the original Rider-Waite deck, it's also like this reading has a very day-to-day aspect to it. Like in the original Rider-Waite deck, it has like two people in a courtyard in some sort of market where they just, run into one another and they're so happy and just delighted to like have a conversation. So there's that kind of aspect to that here, like just kind of living your life and all the depth and everything that goes on around you, and how each person is also their own universe. Like each person has their own little world going on in them and all their own connections. And then the depth of that, like this person says this and this person, like there's not really any, there's not like bad feelings here. There could be some gossip with the Eight of Wands. But this is usually, yeah, there could be just some gossip. Like people are chatting perhaps. Which is fine. Like, I've been thinking about this song, but not the particular song. I think in like the movie Step Brothers, there's a scene where Will Ferrell, I actually think that Will Ferrell, I really don't like the characters that he plays. I don't feel like he's a good actor, but I feel like his writing is amazing. And I feel like when he's in like dramas and he's not just being like a doofus, like I find him to be a very touching there's so much depth to Will Ferrell. And he actually married a Swedish woman, and Swedish women like tend to be the most like proactive in women's rights and feminism, and all of his movies like kind of make very obvious jives at women versus men, or just like reinforcing the status quo with humor. He's very, very funny with what he writes, but I don't really enjoy him as much as an actor. But what exactly was my point? So my point is that in Step Brothers there's a scene, and I've just been like imagining it, and it's like he's like, let's give them something to talk about. Like, just I think it's a Shania Twain song, like talk about love. I'm butchering it for sure, but it's all good feelings. Like, it's not necessarily. Some of my readings have just been so intense. Oh, here the Emperor. Even more good feelings. So there's a divine masculine here on the table for sure. The Emperor, the Hierophant. So there's a very strong character that someone is dealing with. Someone very powerful, someone very spiritually gifted, someone very connected, observing this. Wow. Very strong energy. In a good way. Nine of Cups. So this is emotional fulfillment. Nine of Cups, it's a really great card to have. But it's also negotiating power, like being so secure on your own, and kind of also like living through life and life's battles and troubles and whatever might come up along the way. And being like, well, if you want one of my cups, like, do you have one? There is a negotiating aspect to it. Like, I have 9 cups here. You want to come, but like, are you gonna bring your own cup? Like, kind of having, just like definitely having negotiating power in terms of who you allow into your life. Like, you're not just on survival mode and just kind of tumbling through life and whoever you meet along the way, and not having any boundaries along the way. There's someone who's able to assert boundaries here, and maybe even be very communicative about it. Very obvious, perhaps. Five of Swords. So 5 of Swords. I want to say swindle. How does that play in here? Who is being swindled? Eight of Cups. Oh, you're swindling yourself. I see. I see. So how is the Hierophant, Strength, the Star, the Moon, the Emperor, how are all the major arcana related? lost so many cards. I'm gonna actually pick them back up. They fell into my lap. Can you believe it? Oh my god, I can't believe it. It just fell into your lap. Yes, they just fell into my lap. Huh. So pain is the connecting point. Well, that makes sense. Life's a bitch. Oh, wow. Pain and struggle. Well, you know, see, okay. All right, all right. Huh. Stoic. So everyone involved here, whoever, all can connect on pain, being left out in the cold, and stoicism. So there's a survivor aspect here. And my question was, what's the Hierophant, the moon, strength, the emperor, the star, you know, the high priestess? What are all these major arcana cards? And temperance. Sorry, that's a lot to have in one reading. What do they have in relation? And it's the fact that everyone involved has some degree of being left out in the cold, suffering, you know, life's most awful, you know, victimizing things, and then stoicism. So there's no reason not to empathize here. And with temperance and strength, this is this is a divine feminine essence. Like compassion, empathy, understanding, resilience, leadership, patience, you know, just all of the really great qualities that make someone great. So there's that capacity here, and someone who's swindling themselves. Let's see. See, everyone changes. When I first started doing tarot readings online, I'm so nervous, generally. Which is why I don't take anything seriously. But my readings have evolved, and I would like to think that I'm getting better at articulating what's going on, and not using so many colloquialisms like, you know, or it's definitely made me more aware in some ways. But I also, I don't talk about all these profound things. So what was my question? In this kind of way, it's very day-to-day conversation that I normally have with people. So who is swindling who? That is my question. Huh. King of Wands. So I wasn't sure if we were going to see the King of Wands out today. I was thinking about him before I sat down because he reminds me of law enforcement. King of Wands are police officers too. But there's a lack of generosity. Huh. So the masculines are in charge here for sure. So who's swindling who? It's no masculine swindling a feminine or feminine swindling a masculine. It's a masculine swindling a masculine. There is some sort of competition here, and there's disappointment too. Someone's disappointed in their past and just being disappointed in how their life has turned out, and because of it there's a little bit of competition. But someone's also like, so this is like generosity, like this is wanting to give back. So people are also competing with one another in a very healthy way, where they're trying to, better the communicate and like, not be a bully. And some people compete with one another by like who can make someone feel worse. There's so much tension though. Huh. You see, things are just getting crazy now. Just too much energy. It's still only all good things. It's very, very positive energy. It's nice to see like someone's like, people are in the present, or people are mostly in the present in this reading. And the Six of Cups is relevant in the sense where in the original Rider-Waite, as I had said, there are two people kind of just talking in a marketplace. Everyone has that amount of presence here, where they can also add value to a present moment and like make the add intimacy to the experience. Like this is a very intimate card as well. So there's like there's no sort of past troubles here, but there's someone who wants more from their life. Maybe two people who want more from their life. Masculines too. There's a lot of masculine energy out on this table. Spiritually gifted, like, Pope kind of spiritualism. Pope level spiritualism, and just being very being like having that capacity to also empathize with people. Like it's very positive energy, but there's a feminine here, or maybe a few mixed in. The Queen of Swords again, who's observing it all. And like that's the thing is too, is like in living in modern society, I can't stand when someone tries to pit me in competition against another woman, because honestly it's just not in my nature. And like part of my issue too is like I just can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to be in competition with another woman, and I honestly don't care. Like, but some men do that kind of thing. Like they they triangulate women to compete for them, and I feel like that's also attracts the wrong type of women, because it attracts someone who's not in their feminine energy. It attracts someone who's competitive and overbearing and domineering, and it's not the essence that I, as a man, personally, that I would like to bring out in a woman. So I avoid people who try to do that to me, generally speaking. But males, because of their testosterone, are very, prone, in my opinion, to competition. And it's also very positive for them. Like they don't, like if one loses, like if a man loses to another man, like it doesn't it doesn't affect his self-esteem to the degree where maybe it would affect a woman's self-esteem. It would more so just encourage him to be better, a healthy masculine at least. So there's sort of a healthy competition that's going on as well. but everyone involved is in their sort of most enlightened energy. They're they're present, but they just, you know, they want more from their life, so they're looking for more and willing to compete along the way. Most likely for a feminine's attention. So, love, light, and blessings to everyone. Hope you have a great rest of your night.